Hi folks, and welcome back to Conan Exiles. This is episode 11 of the Beginner's Guide 2023, and in the last episode we were out looking for new friends both in Sepamaru and then also down at Sinner's Refuge. So we got quite a few on camera, and I've been spending a bit more time getting some more, so we've got a decent amount of helpers now. So let me just give you a quick run through of who we've got and what they do for us. So first of all, we have Dea Lead Drinker. We've got her in Sepamaru. There is also a Smelter 3 and a Larathil of Azura that we got from the Sinner's Refuge. So they're all smelters, and all they do is speed up the process of smelting your iron, steel, stone, brick, whatever it is. And obviously the tier 4s do it faster than the tier 3s. Next we have Mij of Azura, who, being of Azura, means it came from Sinner's Refuge, and that's an alchemist that we've got on our Fireball Cauldron, and all that does here again is speed up the crafting speed. I think it's 100% faster, I think is the numbers. Next we have a Master Blacksmith Kuris, who came from Sepamaru, just outside our base. It's a great place to get blacksmith because at this end where we are, there are 2 blacksmith spawns on the bottom level and there's 2 on the top level at Temple Quarter, so you've got 4 blacksmiths right there all the time, which can have a chance of being a tier 4. And this guy is a bladesmith, which is even better, so he'll do increased damage on the weapons. Did he do anything? Oh, he also does reinforce. So to make an iron reinforcement you need an iron bar. To make a steel reinforcement you need a steel bar, but to make a steel bar you need 5 iron bars. So basically it's 5 iron bars to make a steel reinforcement. This reinforce allows you to take 1 iron reinforcement that is made with 1 iron bar and 1 steel fire and make a steel. So you're basically making your steel reinforcements 5 times cheaper, so very helpful. Next we actually have 2 carpenters in here. So we've got Alphonse of Zingaria, who came from Sepamaru, and we've got Kiam of Azura, which came from Sinner's Refuge, again of Azura. He is, I can't remember what the crafter is, bow maker maybe? But basically this symbol means that anything he makes will do extra damage. And anything he makes will do extra armor pen. So you've got the broken shield there as the armor pen. The other thing that a tier 4 does, I think a tier 3 does it as well, allows you to make branches from sticks and also make wood from branches. So you can see here we've got loads, we've got thousands of branches, so we're going to hit that, and I'll just start turning them into wood, 7 at a time, but we've got so much of them. Got to give us a whole bunch of wood, so that's nice. We don't have anything in those tables yet. Let's go next door. Oh, there is Luba the Luscious dancing away, entertaining us, so always got somebody to clear corruption from us. Next table we have Apra 1000 Cuts. So this is a taskmaster. It's on our friend work table. However, we're not high enough level for it to unlock the extra thing, so once we're a bit higher level and we've unlocked the next tier of wheel, we'll get a recipe of how to make chain bindings that's like super high durability bindings, using that in there. This is an important one. We have Gileton Azura's Chosen, also from Sinner's Refuge, and they are an alchemist in the alchemist bench. So as well as speeding up the crafting of the various items, it opens up all these different stuff here. The more important ones would be this one, oil. So a really cheap way of making oil is just 1 bark and 1 ichor will turn into, I think it's 10. Let me just make one. 5. It's 5. So 1 bark, 1 ichor gives you 5. Let's just go craft a bunch of that. We'll need that later. You can make spice, but spice is so easy to grind. Fibre. You can make tar, but also, and you definitely wouldn't turn oil. Oil's rare and raw ash is rare. And turn that into tar, where we get hundreds and hundreds of tar from our tannery. So I don't see the point of that. This is a good one. Demon Fire Orbs, so mega cheap, 1 water orb and 3 volatile glands gives us a Demon Fire Orb. which we'll need for cracking open meteorites to get star metal later on. Can make gaseous and grease orbs if you want to, but you can also fill flasks. So when we were doing the purple lotus and we needed water fill flasks, you can fill them here without taking the flasks out to the water source. So very handy. Next we have Zoara of the Marshes, and she came from Sepimaru, and she is a tier 4 armourer. She does have the little hammer symbol, which means that I think it's temperite is what that one is, and that basically means it's got extra durability. So being a tier 4, she will make items with extra armour automatically, but she doesn't have the armour smith. It'll give you the super bonus armour, but that one will give you more durability and you'll still get a bit extra armour as well, so all good. We have Inigo the Vengeful, who also came from Sepimaru, who's a tier 4 tanner, and he will just process your tannery faster. And what we then did was, because we've got a tier 4 armourer, we took our old armourer one and put it back on the tanner's table to give us this stitch and weave. And I think we've got one more who is down here, and that's this guy here. Because we sunk the wheel into the foundation so it fits it in two, unfortunately his standing point is lowered, so he's in the foundation as well, and that's Sir Bowen, Enforcer of Azura, and again he's from Sinner's Refuge. So there we go, that's all the friends that we made since the last episode. The other thing that we had an issue with last time was the Tinkerer journey, and several people pointed out in the comments that I was being an idiot. So if I hit the Tinkerer journey and select it, it does actually say the prerequisite to unlock that journey step is to unlock Apprentice Tinker Knowledge. So if we go to Knowledge, there's actually 3 places that you can unlock the Tinkerer's Bench. The first one, what we did, was under Weapons. And you go down the bottom and you unlock Apprentice Weaponsmith. You go to Armour, and obviously the Weaponsmith gives you weapon related tool upgrade kits, weapon damage kits, etc. You go to Armour, go down the bottom, you have Apprentice Armoursmith that gives you armour related mods, but also gives you the bench. And the third one that I'd forgotten about, and is the one we actually want, is under Survival. And if you scroll down, you get Apprentice Tinker, and now that's the one that actually unlocks the journey. So let's learn that. Come on. There we go. Tinkerer journey is now unlocked. So let's quickly burn through this. So Tinker, now if we switch that journey, we've already done the Weaponsmith, so we've done that. So now we need to access or place a bench, so we've got here. There we go. Right, the first thing we have to craft, it says at the top corner, is a simple weapon repair kit. I keep pressing F because I've been playing too much Palia. Right, so a simple weapon repair? Yes, weapon repair, which is this one here, which requires 30 stone. Let's make one of them. We're not going to put it on our actual weapon. Let's get one of our... Oh, let's get the iron short sword. It's got damage. Right, because this will also highlight something interesting. So you can see the durability is about halfway down. We can get the kit, and we apply the kit to the sword, and it fixes it. So according to this here, it's fully repaired again. But as you can see here, there's this little red bit at the bottom. And that's your lost durability. So it's now, I don't know what its maximum durability was before, but it would have been more than 360, and now we've lost that much. And the quality of the kit used to repair it will designate how much lost durability. So you can never repair it past that much. It's a bit weird because this only happens if you use kits. If I put that sword in the bench and repaired it in the bench with the recipe that I know how to use, it would have repaired it all the way back to full. But because you used the kit on it, it didn't do that. So let me chuck that back in there. Okay, but that's interesting that the weapon and armor repair kits, that's what causes the loss of durability. If you actually come to the bench and fix it in the bench yourself, you get maximum durability and it all okay. Worth noting. Obviously, legendary items cannot be repaired at all, and there will be some unique items that you don't know how to make them, so therefore you can't repair them. So you have to use kits on them, and then you'll get that red loss of durability. That's one of the new features of Age of War. Right, next thing, unlock Armorsmith knowledge. Knowledge, armor. Showed you that before. Armorsmith. There we go, it's Armorsmith, not Apprentice Armorsmith. Craft a thin armor plating. Oh, what do we need for that? 10 fiber and... So we all, it's a bit weird, it asks you to learn the apprentice, which teaches you the next level up, the armor plating, but it's asking you to make the cheapest one, and therefore less armor. There we go. Let's just, I guess it's going to want to apply it to a piece of armor. Now I don't think it'll let us do that because we've got durability damage. Nope. Can't modify something that is damaged, so let's go and quickly repair that helmet. And you can see, so it went all the way up to full, and if I put it on, we don't have a red bit because we repaired it in the bench. So let's apply that. There we go. So that has now got, I should have taken a note, that has slightly more armor because it's got a bit of an armor kit on it. And it goes purple when it's been modified, and you see the little sign. Okay, next, craft a simple tool upgrade kit. Let me see, which one's that? Simple tool upgrade kit. 10 iron bars. Now, so we apply that to a tool. There you go. It goes purple, and now that tool will be able to produce more items per hit. So every time I hit a bit of rock or a bit of iron or whatever, you'll get slightly more return on it. It used to, applying these mods used to reduce the durability. It doesn't do that anymore in Age of War. So that's good. The durability stays at 400. You can see your hatchet there was 400. And that one's still 400. But now, so it used to be the bonus was you got more damage but less durability. Now it's the just more damage and it doesn't affect your durability. So that's good. Unlock the fluid press knowledge. Oh, we don't have a fluid press yet, so let's survival. There's the fluid press there. Access our place, so we're going to have to craft one of them. Oh, that also unlocked the brewer knowledge. Where would that be under cooking? No. Yep, there it was. It's under alchemy. That's interesting. Right, we need 50 shaped wood, 10 twine, and 10... Oh, I think I've got actually enough in there, have I? 50 shaped wood. Let's take all of that, There we go. Let's just drop it here for now. So the fluid press allows us to squish a whole pile of stuff into liquids. You can stick berries in there to get berry pulp. It's asking us to craft oil. So you can craft oil using seeds or fish. So if you can make... Let me see where it is. It'll be under survival and it'll be under, here we go, fisher. You can make these fish traps, place them in the water, put some bugs in them, and they will produce fish for you. You can stick the fish in here, it'll squeeze them into oil. But you can also do it with seeds. There we go, 15 seeds makes 1 oil. But, like I showed you before, we have the ability to make better oil because we can put bark and ichor and make a pile of oil. So, let's just grab that oil. Craft a simple weapon damage kit. So we'll chuck the oil in there. Simple weapon damage kit. Needs 10 iron bars and 5 oil. Of course we've learned the next level up so we can make the weapon damage kit. Apply it to a weapon. There we go. Tinkerer complete. And for that, we get prying kits, which are really nice addition to the game. If we claim that reward, how many do we actually get? Or did we just get the option to learn to make them? Is that what it is? It is, yeah. So a prying kit is an instrument for prying off weapon and armour components. Because previously, anytime you mod a weapon, that's it. It's set in stone. You can't do anything about it. Now you can use a prying kit to pry that mod off and apply a different one. Which is a nice cool feature. Right, okay, that is the Tinkerer. We've done it. We tried to do it last episode, but we couldn't do it, and we've done it this time. The next thing we want to do, and what the actual point of this episode is we're going to start learning sorcery. We want to start working our way through the sorcery spells, and we're going to do that today, and we're going to start by remembering that there is a sorcery journey step. There it is, sorcerer. Switch that journey. Find and defeat a sorcerer. So what it wants to tell you is where we need to find out where the hidden cave to learn sorcery is, and you do that by defeating sorcerers, and some of them will drop a map for you to get there. So we need to go and defeat a sorcerer. So we're going to head down here. Don't move and guard. Follow. Put you on guard me. Have you got food? You do. Okay. Let's go. There are a few spawn points in Sepamaru. It's maybe not the best place for you to start because they're obviously a higher level than the guys down in Noob River. So I probably would recommend, especially for beginners, head down. There's loads of camps down Noob River that have all had sorcerers added to them, and you can take them on, and they're a lot easier to. Oh look. Sepamaru is rather empty. I sometimes get this, that it takes like an inordinate long time for them to spawn in. Don't know whether it's because the base is right outside the door, but here we are at the temple quarter. There's the set temple there. There should be 3 set priests standing here. And just behind this building, this little fence through here, you can see a couple of altars. There's a thaumaturgy bench there. There's a sacrificial altar there with a guy who's had a little accident. And there should be 2 sorcerers standing here, and usually 2 fighters standing here, like bowing down to them kind of thing. And you can take them on and get their drops. You also have to watch that sometimes on the benches where the sorcerers are, there's often benches or these tables or circles of power, and they'll quite often have a rolled up piece of paper on them that is a sorcerer's scroll that you can pick up, and you need a bunch of them because you need one of them for every spell. But there's nothing here at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll cut and I'll shoot off down to Noob River, and we'll find a camp down there that's got a bunch of sorcerers that we can work our way through. Okay, I'll see you once I find a sorcerer. Okay then, right, so this should be a familiar location because this is Skulker's End that we had to fight our way through to get to the dregs, which is just in the distance there. And this place has, I think it's got 3 sorcerers in it. Also, it used to have a lot more people in it. Also, there used to be a Catan caravan here in Age of Sorcery, but they've reduced the amount of people in here, so it's not quite as bad as it used to be. Can you... Oh, there we go. Oh, so we'll just have to take out a couple of these guys. Go and get him.
The serpent.
There you go.
Enemies at the gate.
Alright, and then here comes a sorcerer. They always wear this kind of, I think they always wear this kind of garb. Go, defeated a sorcerer. Right, let's see what they have on them. So, not very exciting. Sorcerer Skull. So, in the Age of Sorcery, we used to collect them and hand them into the Catan caravans for goodies, but we can't do that anymore. So they can just be used as a decorative item, there's not much else for them. But that one was not very useful. We're taking those weathered skulls, they'll become very useful later on. I'll also take that arrow just for... Oh, I never brought a bow. Right, so if we head over to this side... Oh, there's a guy by the fire. But just over here on the left hand side... Just behind that tent there is a sorcerer with a bunch of tables. There's one there. He's got a slab and also a sacrificial stone here, but none of them have a bit of paper on them. This guy here, he just has a skull and iron as well, so he doesn't have any goodies either. Okay. Right, so over in this back corner on the right, there should be one more. There's it standing up there. That's actually the Skelos cultist armor that they wear. As you can see, New River, so super easy. Whoa! Cannibal champion. Almost one-shotted me. Interesting. Oh, that must be one of the two skull guys, was it? Did I never noticed, because he's got a special Defari sword. It's only 14, so it's still pretty rubbish, but it's got that yellow thing on it. Ah, me. This is no much use at all. Is that them all from here? Yeah, I think that's all the sorcerers from here. Yeah, if that was a two skull, I'll have to look back at the footage. That's the first two skull. They introduced two skull bosses in Age of War, and normally we only have 1 and 3 skull bosses. So that would be the first one I've ever seen. Take glowing essence. Okay, right, so we've got no luck here. We didn't get any bits and pieces, so I'm going to head off and go to another camp and see if we get any better luck further along the river. Okay, see you soon. Okay, we're outside this next camp, so let me show you where we are. There's our base there, there's the along here is where the hyenas are, and then if you go up this hill, that's where we went for the coal a couple of episodes ago, which is just behind us over there. Some coal there and there, up to where the spiders are up there. If you come up on top of this level here, you can see this clamp, which is Carver's something or other, I believe. We'll just have to take out a couple, because what we want to go to is up that top bit up there, just at the back right of the camp. Oh, he fell down. He had a volatile gland on him. That would have been useful. Right, so we have a sorcerer here, just at the front. But the actual bench we want is up there. But let's see if we get anything off of him. Hello? There we go. Carver's Crest, there we go. Archer in the back. So that's just got fibre, stone and a skull as well. We're getting really unlucky. Let's see if we can go around here. Right, up this bit up here. There's another guy here. Stone and a skull. Nothing at all. And there's nothing on his bench either. Okay, let me get myself out of here, and we'll go and we'll bring you back when I get... I'll probably bring you back when we get to the next one where there actually is something to see. Okay. Right, we've potentially got something here. We're at a... what's it called? Narrow neck span. Just along the river a bit further. Up here. And we take out our first one, who has got a failed sorceress page. So that's Can't quite use that, but we might be able to use it later on. But he's also got a cloth satchel, so let's open that. And we got the map and a bunch of notes. Notes are no use to us, but you got the map. So if we use the map, you can see it's a little fragment of a map that has a river going along the bottom of it, and then a snaking river that goes up to the northwest, turns round and goes off to northeast, and the cave is marked just there. So if we look on our actual map, you can look all around the places. There's quite a few places. It might be there, might be over here, but if we look at this one here, there's a river going along the bottom. It goes up to the northwest, goes round the corner and off to the northeast. And this is the location just around about this area here, just below the turn. And that's where we're looking for. So we now have the map that will tell us where the cave is. You don't actually need to find the map. I'm just going to go into the back here and get another sorcerer at the back. You can just go straight there, but that is the general idea, is you're meant to... Oh, there's a golem's leg. We'll grab that. We'll grab that essence as well. But there's another one just at the very end here. And I can see a scroll page sitting on his altar. Take him out. Has he got anything on him? He does. He has an iron arm. Another failed sorceress page. But he does on his altar here, look, there's a little you can pick. And that is a actual sorceress spell page. So that's what we need. We don't need the map anymore. That's what we need to upgrade. We need one of these for every upgrade of our spell book once we learn a spell book. So, okay, next we need to head up here and find the cave. So I'm going to head off there and I'll see you when we get there. Okay, see you soon. Right, here we are. That's the cave behind us. So if I bring up on the map, just like I said, just before the turn, just slightly north of where it narrows after this wide area. Yeah, we're on the left or west bank. There's a river down there. There's another camp across the way, and we're just up like a little bit higher up here. And there's the cave, which should be called Shaleback's Hollow. There it is. And it's called that because it's got these corrupted shalebacks in it. And it's also full of corruption. It's a bit unfair on the Exiled lands because you've got a corrupted cave full of corrupted shalebacks to fight through. Or you could just run through them. You don't actually have to fight these guys. We're gaining corruption. Whereas on Sipta, there is a cave that you get this from, and there is nothing inside the cave, and there's no corruption. So, seems a little bit unfair. Right, there's another... Is there 3 back here? Here comes one. Get them one at a time, that would be nice. They're not that difficult, but it would be relatively tough at lower levels. And it all uses up time, which means you're always getting corrupted when you're in here. Here come the other 2. But like I said, you can just run past them, because when you go into the next section, they don't come through. We're actually not getting that much corruption at all.
Did you see that? Name of set identified.
There we go, they're down. So you can run past them. It just means that sometimes that your thrall kind of gets, or your friend, sorry, gets stuck here and ends up having to fight them all by himself while you go through here. So you can, there we go, we found the cave. You can see the statue in the background. The Cave of Kurak. So the next step, as it says in the top corner, is touch the tomb of Kurak. So on this bench here, there is the tomb, and we touch that and we learn basic sorcery and 2 spells. So if I go, so we picked up a tomb, which will be our spell book that will level up. There's a pouch that we use to cast some spells. It's a like a reagent, and there's our arcane staff that I've got. Just to show you, on my way back, I went back to that, what was it called, Cutter's Crest, and I managed to get another spell page, and I got this Skelos Cultist Master. If I use that, we learn Skelos Cultist Master armor and the Forgotten Furnishings. So that's the armor that those sorcerers are wearing. We can now make that, but it is level 60 epic armor, so we have to. Right, I can do that. But if I go to knowledge and go to sorcery, we've learned basic sorcery, and we've learned our first 2 spells. The first one is Ice Bridge, and the second one is Reveal Corruption. Now, Reveal Corruption just like shows you like with a glow anything, a person or creature that's corrupted nearby. So it's more of a PvP thing than a PvE thing. And Ice Bridge, as it kind of name suggests, makes you a bridge of ice. So in order to test it, there is a gap here to over there, and if we click our staff, we've got 2 categories. This first stones are the categories. So this one is part Veils of Time and Space, and that's where the corruption one is. And this one is shape the raw forces of nature and reality. So being an ice bridge, that's a force of nature. We'll click on that, and then we'll get our first level spell, Ice Bridge. We aim the reticule where we want the bridge to go to, and there we go. We get a bridge of ice that spans the gap that we can just run across. See the icicles hanging down, and over here is a bunch of chests with some goodies in it. Let's see. 2 obsidian won't do us much use at the moment. Oh, there's another one. Don't want anything out of there. We'll take that silver bar and the gold coins. One here. What's that? That's a steel bar, we'll take that. This one here, it just says loot chest, and if we hit E, it says you must have a key to open it. So, in the game, there are various 3-skull world bosses around, and when you defeat them, you get a skeleton key off of them that allows you to open these loot boxes that will have a legendary weapon in it. We haven't fought any world bosses, so we don't have any sorcery keys, skeleton keys at the moment, so we can't open that chest. But that's a chest that can be opened if we want to later on. Okay, that's everything. Our bridge has disappeared. We could jump down and then climb up at the other bit, but let's just cast it again. I think actually casting the spell has made us more corrupt. Ice Bridge, let's check our corruption. A little bit. Went up by about 10. So not too bad. Okay, right. That's us done in here. So we can get out. Let's see if these guys have respawned. They have. So, like I say, we can just run past them. They're decent XP, but just the time it takes in here to get through them, you build up so much corruption. Yeah, let me through. And we're back out again. Okay, so we built up a decent amount of corruption in there. Are you coming? Got it right away. Right, so we're going to go back home and we're going to build our bench so we can actually start doing some more sorcery. I will see you very shortly. Right, I've quickly brought you back. So we came down here and we've come around this corner to this area here, and there are these, I think they're called ostrich, yeah, they're ostrich. There's a few of them here. There's also a few, where are they, roundabout this area here. When we did our extended iron run outside the summoning place, just there's a whole bunch of birds here. And I happen to know that we will need a bunch of feathers for one of the spells. So while we're running past, I'm going to grab, what did we get? 42 feathers, more than enough. We'll also need some feral flesh. So I'm going to grab that off a hyena while we're on the way too. Just makes life a little bit easier when we get back to base. Okay, next time I'll be at the base. See you soon. Right, here we are, home again. So, as you can see, we've got, what does it say, 18% corruption at the moment, reducing our health by 64. But as we walk into the house, or the base, it says losing corruption, because our performer here, Luba, is dancing and entertaining us, and you can see the purple corruption just fading away. So our health will now regen all the way back to max again. 2%, 1%, 0%. There we go. Done. Right. I suppose I can dump a bunch of this stuff in this box just now. That kind of needs to go. Keep that. Drop that at that. We'll sort that out later on. And we'll keep all the rest of the stuff. Oh, there we go. Right. So we need, as it says in the top corner, to access or place a thaumaturgy bench. So what is required for that? That's something we learned when we got our basic sorcery. So crafting stations, sorcery. Now these 3 items here are all battle pass items, so you won't have them, so we'll just ignore them for us now. All we'll look at is this thaumaturgy bench, which needs 300 stone, 50 crystal and 50 iron bars. Now also, on the episode where we went all the way to the jungle to get the horse, on the way back we stopped off at Hanuman's grotto here with the imp cave, and we got a whole bunch of crystal from there. I think there is also crystal in Galaman's tomb is just about here. I think there's crystal in there. There is another cave of imps, would be round about here somewhere. Also full of crystal, and there's also another one somewhere up this, I think it's actually up here somewhere. Somewhere along the river on the west bank of the river there is a cave of the degenerates that's also full of imps, and it's got lots of crystal in it. You can also loot it off of loads of people, but all the useful crystal I picked up I stuck in this chest. So let's grab 50 of that. It's 300 stone. And what was the other thing again? Sorcery, 50 iron bars. Okay, right, we'll put this bench through here. Sorcery, thaumaturgy bench. We'll stick it next to the alchemy bench. Lock it there for us now. And there we go, there's our bench. So the next one is upgrade your Tomb of Kurak. So what we need to do is we take our tomb and we put it in here, because this, we can make 2 things in the bench. One is a replacement arcane staff, if we was to lose that one, which is just some iron bars and some crystal. The other one is this, each time you do this it upgrades to a new spell, upgrades your book to a new spell. And for each spell you need a book, you need a sorcerer's page for everyone, and then differing reagents. The next 2 things will change on everyone, but you'll always need the book and you always need a page for each level. So this one needs putrid meat and stone. Do you have any putrid meat on it? You've got 4 putrid meat. We only need 1, and we need 1 piece of stone. Grab that out of here. Plonk it in the bench. So putrid meat and stone. There we go, it's all 4. We can now craft. So she'll now do this ritual. The bench lights up with its RGB setup, and there we go, we learned 4 new things down the side. So let's see, what did we learn? Sorcery. So the first thing we learned was blood rite. So it's the ability to perform a sacrifice on somebody and extract their blood for ritual purpose, which we then put the blood in the flask for reagents for things later on in the spell system. Another one we got is Word of Power, also on the sacrificial stone, and that, instead of taking the blood, it drains their soul and puts that into a flask, also a reagent for later spells. we also learned Embed Wisp and Imbue Wisp. So Embed Wisp is like a magic torch, essentially. So in Embed, it embeds it into a place in the world. So you pick a spot and a little lit up wisp will fly around, lighting up the area in the dark. Imbue Wisp imbues it on yourself, so it'll then follow us about. So unfortunately it's daytime at the moment, so it's not going to show up brilliantly. This is particularly useful in very dark caves, because then it means you don't have to hold a torch in your offhand and you can carry on using your shield, or a two-hander. Right, so let's do this. Oh, casting the spell completed the sorcerer journey step. So it's... No, it's not forces of nature, is it? No, cancel that. We've now got a new category. Let's cast that again. The middle one is wield the forces of life, death and undeath. And then we have two options. Imbue on the self or imbue onto a fixed point. So that'll just cast it to an area. Let's do this. And there we go. We've got a wisp that's flying around us, illuminating. And we can now move about. So if we're in a dark cave, it'll help light up the area, and we can see what we're doing, but still have two hands free without having to hold a torch. It's really useful, as I say. When it first came out, it just lasted 2 minutes, which wasn't very good. Then they increased it to 10 minutes, which was a lot better, but now it stays on until you switch it off. So if we cast again, we now have the option remove ongoing effect. So, and notice it doesn't cost anything either. And there we go. So now you just have to cast it and it'll stay on until you're finished with it, which is better. Right, so that was the two new spells we learned, but we also learned how to do the blood rite and the soul drain. So we kind of have to craft a sacrificial altar for that. So we're going to need our hammer again. Let's see what is required for that. So it is 600 stone, 100 iron bars and a torch. So it's a bit more expensive than the other stuff. 600 stone, 100 iron bars, and we're really heavy. Right, you hold that and that. And I've got a torch in here somewhere, our old torch, now that we've got the glowing goop one. We'll grab that. Okay, right, we'll also need our knockout kit. Let's take that, that, and that. Right, so we could place it in here. But what I think we'll do is we'll take it closer to Sepa Maru, where the humans are that are going to provide our materials, just to save us having to drag it all the way back. Okay, so we won't be able to place it too close because you can't build that close to Sepa Maru. Right, I'll need the materials. Building is not allowed here. Oh, there we go. There. Right, so just like you saw when we saw the sorcerers in their camps, this is the sacrificial stone. So now we need a willing volunteer. So I'll take that. You take that. Let's chuck that away, we don't need that anymore. Let's go and ask for some volunteers from over here. Hopefully there's some... Yeah, the people have spawned in this time. Right, so we'll almost certainly pull at least 2 here. Let's... You take them out. I'll take this one out. There we go.
By the old serpent, invaders!
so we take the rope. We grab this guy. It doesn't matter who it is. It makes no difference whether it's a crafter, a fighter, an archer. It doesn't matter. It's just an unconscious... Where is it? There it is. So this bit is not the best. So we strap him on there and he's chained up to the stole. We can then interact with it and we have the option to do the blood rite ritual. Now this is particularly gruesome, and Conan Exiles is an adult game. It is mature audiences. It has people getting decapitated and blood everywhere. But this is particularly gruesome, and I know of people who have had their YouTube channels shut down because of showing this. So in the previous videos it was all blurred out. But what I'm going to do is, while we're doing that ritual, we're just going to look away. And you can use your own imagination what's happening. You hear the demonic noises. But we're not going to show anything. There we go. Right. But now the bowl is full. We got a little bit of corruption there, and we now have some sacrificial blood in the bowl that we actually need a glass flask to place in the flask so we can actually remove it from the bowl. So I'm going to cut here. I'm going to run back to the base, grab a glass flask or two, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back. Right, so if I put the 2 glass flasks in there, I can now take that. You need 1 blood and 1 glass flask, craft it, and it'll put the sacrificial blood in a flask. There we go, which we can now use to take that away and use other things. Let's grab the other unconscious person. Hopefully they'll still be sleeping. Yep. Take them with us, and we can do the soul drain ritual. Okay, so we stick them on there, we interact with that, and we've got soul drain craft. So again, I don't want to show that either. It's not quite as gruesome as the blood rite ritual, but we'll just turn away anyway as she does her little ceremony here. Look how much corruption we got for that. We're 50% corrupted now, just for doing that one. Right, so you can see they're rather withered, and for that we get actually 5 soul essence. So let's grab the 2 of them, and that's the rituals. So the soul essence one badly corrupts you. I think you can only be 50% corrupted, I don't think you can be more than that. But again, we'll get cleansed easy enough. There we go, she's cleansing us already. Right, so that's what we learned from the first upgrade. Let's look at the next upgrade now. It needs another page. We have another page. And as expected, it needs 1 feral flesh and 5 feathers. Let's put 5 feathers in, and 1 feral flesh. Upgrade. Switch on our RGB system again. So we learned slow fall for this one. Right. And look how corrupted we are. Let me take my helmet off. We don't look very well, do we, when we get all the corruption? Let's go and get healed up. Put the stuff in here. Put that in there. We'll use that for something else. Have we got failed pages in here? I got 4 from my previous excursions when I was out leveling this guy up. Come on, get our health up. So, slow fall is as it says on the tin. It makes you fall slowly from a height so that you don't take any damage. Alright, let's get fully healed up. It's a bit of a weird one, because you don't really need to take slow fall, because in this game you can launch yourself off a cliff. And I need to go out here and then climb up onto the roof. Get up high. And climb up onto this roof. Yeah, you can just launch yourself off a cliff and then grab on and slide down the cliff, so it's not such a big deal. So I'm not really sure what the point is. So there we go, we're at the highest point on our house. And if we was to jump down from here, we would take a lot of damage, if not kill ourselves. So let's... I must remember to give him his... Right, so I guess this is a force of nature one. So now, as well as Ice Bridge, we've got Slow Fall. Conjures a gust of air to slow descent and make it safe to fall from any height. There we go. There we go. We have the Slow Fall buff now, which is timed, and we can just jump off of here, and you can see we can very slowly fall. And while it's running, it's like you're on the moon. You can do like little bigger jumps. Yeah, that's Slow Fall. So I'm sure it has a use. I'm just not sure what that use is at the moment. Okay, next one. What's next? The next one, we need another sorceress page. Oh, we'll have to get them out of the chest. Let's take all these pages. So, just to point out that if you tame a sorcerer as a friend to put him in this bench, you'll unlock 2 more recipes. One is to be able to craft sorcerer pages, but they need a bunch of materials to make them, and the other one is to combine 10 failed pages into a good page. So as you go around trying to get these pages, keep all your failed pages, because you will be able to combine them later on. Right, so what else do we need? Savoury flesh and glowing goop. We probably don't have any uncooked savoury flesh, but there is a savoury flesh vendor just right here. Cleaver. There we go. Now, glowing goop. There are several places to get glowing goop. The place we got a whole bunch of was when we were in the dregs, and we use it to make our blue glowing torch. In Galaman's tomb, at the back of Galaman's tomb, there is some water, and under the water there is a whole bunch of glowing goop there. There's a bunch of glowing goop in the rivers around the jungle. And where we are, if we go through that gap there to where that water is, just at the edge here, in this central bit, there is a bunch of glowing goop in the water there as well, so plenty of places to get it. But we got a bunch when we were in the dreg, so it should be in one of these chests. Oh no, it'll be in the alchemy bench, because we used it. So we need 10 of that. Here we go. How much do we need? Just 1. Right, so Tomb of Karak, a sorcerer spell page, 1 savoury flesh, and 10 glowing goop. Abyssal Mount Horse and Abyssal Mount Rhino. Right. This is another one I'm not that keen on. So if we go to Sorcery, we now learn this sort of demonic, almost lava-like horse and rhino, both of which are crafted at a circle of power. And a circle of power we've just learned and is constructed with a construction hammer. So let's give me my hammer back. Oh, this has got... Oh, let me give you your sword back before I forget. Right. Sorcery. There's the circle of power. No, that is the circle of power that we just learned. That is the... It's like a different skin for it. These are the battle pass items, so the Magian chalk circle is a circle of power, just looks different, but that's from a battle pass. This is the one that you can learn. It needs 100 brick, 200 bone meal, and 50 steel bars. So the first thing we have to worry about is, where do you get bone meal from? Well, the answer is you grind up bones, and you grind up bones in the grinder. So if we go to survival, I've already put one downstairs. There's the grinder there, because we use that for making spice. So the grinder, level 17, it requires a couple of bricks and a couple of branches. It's very cheap to make. You take some bones. Let me grab some bones. I don't have any bones. Do I have any bones? I must have bones in the alchemy bench. Let me grab 2 bones just for... Right, I've already put a pile in here. So I've already got 200 bone meal, but if I just show you, if I put bone in, see, 1 bone gives you 4 bone meal. So you get 8 bone meal from the 2 bones. There you go. So 50 bones will give you 200 bone meal. We'll need 100 brick, I think it is. Brick is in this one. And 50 steel bars. Right, so eventually I'll build a sorcery location up in that upper level that we haven't looked at yet, that we talked about before. But in the meantime, will it fit in here? Oh, it does. It went green there. So there we go. It's a 3x3 area you need to craft a circle of power, and there we go. So we'll end up using this for a few spells. The first ones is horse and a rhino. So to craft that, we need a sacrificial blood in a flask, we need 10 demon blood and 10 more bone. So we've got a bunch of demon blood off of various creatures that we've met so far. 10 of that was 10 bones. And one of those sacrificial bloods in a flask, so we've got that. There we go. So these are very strange because they're temporary. So put that in there, and we can go craft. They are very low health. Did it? Oh, a ritual is in progress, but we're not actually doing a ritual. We're just scratching our neck. What? Try that again. There we go, that's better. Yeah, they're temporary creatures that I think by default you've got them for 10 minutes. As long as you use it and are continually... So it's got 3000 health, so it's not too bad, but if we look, it doesn't have an inventory at all. You can mount it, and you can ride it. You don't need a saddle. Let's get it outside and have a look. The rhino's the same, by the way. It's a rhino. Right, come on, where are you? Here it comes. So it looks really cool with the glowing sort of lava with a crustacean over the top of it. Let me just show you its stats. So it has 0 in everything, it has 0 growth chance in everything, and at level 0 it has 3600 health, but you can get on it and you can ride it. In the beginner's guide 3.0 series, I used this to actually go and ride over to the jungle to pick up the foals from my river base, because as long as you keep using it and keep killing stuff, it'll stay with you. But as soon as you get off it, it's like I say, it's got I think it's a 10-minute timer, and it'll count down, and when that runs out, it turns aggressive and it'll start attacking you and your friends, and then it's gone forever. So yeah, I mean, if you ride it to the other side of the map and then you lose it, you're just going to have to run back. So yeah, it's another one that's like a cool looking thing. It would be nice to have it as a skin for your actual horse, but because it's temporary and you can't really level up and do anything with it, it's a bit weird. So I'm not really sure what the point. So you can see we're now level 1, but because the growth chance is 0 on everything, it doesn't go up. It will get perks. If you ride it long enough, you get it to level 10, it will get perks, but it doesn't level up because it's got a 0% growth chance. So yeah, there we go. It's a bit weird. It's level 2 now, look. So there we go. That's the first couple of levels of spells. I happen to know that the next level spell requires a whole bunch of volatile glands, which will involve us having to go on a bit of a trip to go and get some volatile glands. So we're running short of time, so we'll leave that to the next one. But that's the beginnings of sorcery. That's how you get the basics. You go and get your sorcerer pages by killing sorcerers. You find out the location of the cave. You go and learn the... Oh no, I've got one more thing. So yeah, you learn the location, learn sorcery, and then you level up. So let me just park you there. But one thing I need to do is we completed this journey step. So let's claim that, because it's this helmet. The Acaronian Legat helmet. So let's have a look in here. Acaronian. Oh, they're all Acaronian as well. There it is there. So it's the normal and the epic version. And it is light armor. It's only got an armor value of 6 by default. But let's craft it just to see what it looks like. So it should be 6, but with our T4 guy we got 12, so we doubled. It should have a health bonus of plus 20, but again the boost we've got for a T4 has given us a health of 28. Let's have a wee look. Stick it on. Yeah. Oh, zoomed right past. So that nose guard thing looks a bit strange, and her eyes look a bit weird sticking out. But yeah. Okay, it's light armor, it's not brilliant for us, but ooh, we could use the oh, I never spoke about the illusion system. Let me speak about the illusion system, forgot about that. This top part of the thaumaturgy bench is a way of doing it's called an illusion in here. It's like transmog in other games, where if you have an item, whether it's a weapon or a piece of armor with certain stats that you like, you can put the stats in here, but maybe you don't like the look of it and you prefer the look of another piece of gear. You can put the one that you want the source stats in. So if you've got my helmet, I like my helmet, but I want to make it look like... Take that one off. I've got my reptilian helmet and I like the stats it's got on it, and I want to make it look like that one. You can put the appearance in there, and you hit combine, and it'll look like that, but with the stats of that. So it's a nice way of taking armor that you're not that keen the look of and making it, and weapons, but you can only do like weapons, so an axe can look like an axe, a sword can look like a sword, etc. But yeah, it's a cool way of, because some of the really good armor is pretty ugly. You can also take helmets and turn them into earrings, so that your character will look like this right now, but she'll actually have a super duper helmet on, but you just can't see it because of the illusion system. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the start of what is it? That's the first like 3 or 4 spells that we have, level of spells we have in sorcery. There's quite a bit to go yet, but we've run out of time tonight. So that'll do for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.